Now let's talk about your new song. It was tagged NTBB, not to be broadcasted, because it contravenes with certain sections of the Nigerian Broadcasting, Commission.
No, I will advise, Seyi to hand over the microphone to the MC next time. I mean, he lacks the charisma and purpose to express himself, telling the truth about, the true economic situation of Nigeria at the moment under his father's government. Tinubu is the best father to Seyi Tinubu, but he's the worst president to Nigeria. You know what I mean? He has empowered Seyi Tinubu as a son, but Nigerian youth don't have jobs, talk less of food to eat. The Nigerian youth can travel by road, because of kidnapping, So I asked Seyi Tinubu to travel by road, without insecurity, let him feel the pains, of ordinary citizens, Nigerian youth are just asking for basics, electricity, security, enabling economic policy, job creation, not palliatives, So I keep hearing people saying that why should I attack Seyi Tinubu personally? If Seyi Tinubu came to be part of politics, he talks about his father. He was defending his father. If he never talked about it, I wouldn't have recorded a song like that. So I am answering him, by, replying him with that video that he made. So if Seyi had kept quiet, I wouldn't have said anything directly to him. Tinubu lied about fuel subsidy, lied about economic recovery, lied about fixing the naira, lied about a lot of things, So it's a saddened situation. And it's my responsibility to say it the way it is. If you listen to the song, there's nowhere you hear any insult. It's just basic fact of everything that his father has done through his policy. I mean, why would you ban a song that has no insult in it, that has just pinpointed the ills in the society, that has just talked about, the bad policy of the president, the bad policy under President Tinubu government? I'm going to list very important failures of this government to you, just few. One, increase in petroleum price. Tinubu increased the price of petroleum by 300% after announcing the withdrawal of subsidy. Two, inflation. Prices of goods keep increasing. CBN keep raising interest rates to combat inflation, but they keep failing, to tackle it. Three, hunger. The level of hunger, has skyrocketed. Broken away, or the promises, it's a saddened situation. The using palliative to address the situation is not a solution. Four, reduction of purchasing power. The high inflation has affected purchasing power of Nigerians. People can't even buy anything. Salary is 70,000 naira, and that salary is not enough for you to pay for electricity in 1 month. Don't forget they've increased electricity tariffs, and we still don't have light. 5, insecurity. Terrorists are kidnapping Nigerians, hundreds of Nigerians in a single operations. Farmers can't go back to farm anymore, and the government is busy bringing in GMOs, genetic modified organisms, to eradicate Nigerians. You and I know it's not healthy. Instead of you sending your security agent to go into the forest to, clear these terrorists. 6, increase in transportation. The high cost of petroleum automatically affected, transportation. 7, devaluation of naira. The devaluation of naira has brought in many disadvantages for a country, that relies, on imports. 8, poverty and reduction in wealth. Many people have been thrown into poverty, in just 2 years. The wealth of others have been reduced because of devaluation of naira under this government. 9, high cost. I think continue. It took plenty, my brother. So why wouldn't I reply Seyi Tinubu after he came out to say that his father was the best president? No, So sorry, your father isn't the best president.
All
People
right.
are dying, people are crying, people are jumping into lagoon. You know what I mean? So Seyi, my message to you is tell your daddy, tell your father that this is the reality of Nigerians. Nigerians are dying. You've never witnessed poverty in your life before. You travel with private jet all the time. You know what I mean? So please tell your dad. And if you want to know how truly this is, go out without your security. Go to what's it called? Yaba. Board a bus that is going to Benin and follow through the Ore Road and feel the pains of Nigeria. Remove all these judiciary criminals, whether you like it or not. They are criminals. There's corruption in the land. The government has been borrowing too much money. What are you doing with all the monies? We don't know.
We actually don't know what they're doing with the money. But this is the first part I want to start with. Eedris says to Seyi Tinubu, go tell your papa he's the worst president in Nigeria's history. Do you agree with that? I mean, the guy came out blasting. I could only give you this short part of this clip anyway, but says to him, he was the inspiration for the song. But the question I want to ask you is this. Was Eedris wrong in everything that he said? The things that he listed about how bad Nigeria is and how unfriendly and anti-people Tinubu's policies are. Do you agree with him? Now, before we unpack this conversation or the points Eedris raised, if you're meeting this content for the first time, like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you've been following us and you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe, like, share, and also recommend this channel to others. But watch this to the end because we have to unpack a lot. The things that Eedris mentioned in the song are perfectly correct. Eedris listed a whole lot of things, a plethora of things that Tinubu is done. He listed the things about insecurity. He listed the things about feeding, insecurity, banditry, inflation. People dying every day. I have never seen Nigeria like this before, where people would jump into the canal, into the water to kill themselves because they cannot. There's poverty in the land. People can't afford to feed. They're killing themselves for it. Inflation is at an all-time high. And then NBC, in their own wisdom, like they like to shut people. That's why Nigerian television has not grown. Literally. They shut down creativity. The guy spoke the problem of Nigeria in a song, and you ban it. Please let us know in the comment section whether or not you agree with what Eedris Abdulkareem said. 24 years later, after the first song, Nigeria Jaga Jaga, today we're still talking about even a worse situation. He raised a good point. He said Tinubu is the best father to Seyi Tinubu, but the worst president Nigeria has, or Nigeria has ever had. But right now, we still have him anyway, so Nigeria's worst president. So let's put it as that. So do you agree with that? Do you agree that the government is actually using palliatives to pad the problem that they created? And he's right, we're bringing in GMOs, genetically modified organisms. And you can see that the havoc GMO foods are causing all over the Western world. People are dying of cancer overly every time. And you can see the rate of cancer in all the Western world because of all these genetically modified foods. And they were bringing them to come and soften the harshness of these harsh policies. So do you believe Tinubu is actually doing the right thing to get Nigeria in the right direction? Because when you want to call out a president, you have to look at his policies. And it is based on his policies that you judge whether or not they're effective or whether or not the president is effective. So if we take Eedris Abdulkareem's song out of the way, would you say Eedris, or would you say Tinubu is actually doing well? That he needs to take this bold step of harshness to get Nigeria in the right direction? And you feed. But the judge said the other day, there's hunger in the land, there's anger in the land. And he's echoing the same thing. He listed the things that Tinubu has done. High inflation. We are borrowing money that we cannot even give account for projects that are not even existing. In Dume give the same thing. We have projects that we cannot even give account for what these projects are for, but they've been borrowed. Money has been borrowed that you and I and our children will pay for later. But we don't know what this money is went for. Petroleum price has gone up 300% based on Eedris's analysis. Inflation at an all-time high. CBN would have to increase interest rate just to cover the loopholes of this government. We're using palliatives to soften the blow. And yet you've now turned Nigerians into beggars. The Nigerians' purchasing power has now been reduced. The devaluation of the currency. So which one is it that Eedris said that you think is wrong? Because if from all indication, there's really pain in the country. This government of Bola Tinubu has literally, I've said this several times, they've decapped Nigeria's economy and is decapped Nigeria as well. So when you look at this Bola Tinubu administration, if it's come to fix something, it will fix the wrath in the system. There's corruption in the land. Our legislature is corrupt. Our judiciary is corrupt. It's called a touch and go. Our judiciary is corrupt to the core, the very core of our judiciary, from the Supreme Court all the way down, corrupt. Our legislature, see the person, or the number 3 person in the country has been accused of a lot of things, including corruption. The number 2 person of the country has been accused of a lot of things, including corruption and terrorism. The number 1 person of our country, the president, has questionable history. How do you fix corruption if the people that are meant to man place of authority are the ones with questionable characters and history? Drug case, money laundering, seizure. That's the president. Vice president, a supporter of terrorism who's been accused before. Yeah, APC national chairman, caught on video with collecting bribe. Akpabio, accused of terror and bribery, corruption, sexual harassment. Look at our National Assembly Speaker. Look at the leadership of the Senate. Bribe all over the place, corruption all over the place. And then when people speak up, they say, why are you criticizing the government? But that's what the people are meant to do. Call out the government when the government is done wrong. When the policy is bad, you call it out. Look at what Trump did with the tariff. They called him and eventually backtracked a little. When your policies are not working and you can see the effect on the country, what do? You backtrack and then you look at your policies. But there's nothing they've done that's worked for 2 years. The man came to make Nigeria's life worse. So I don't know about you. I don't know what you think about this the economy, but I leave it to you to put it in the comment section. What do you think? Do you agree with all of Eedris Abdulkareem's analysis? What you've seen so far? It is a bad thing right now. Nigeria is in a very bad place. But do you agree? Because he said to Tinubu and Seyi Tinubu, you inspired the song. You praised your father as the best president in Nigeria. Gave opportunity to youth, but the youths don't have job. They cannot feed. Businesses have closed. Jobs have run out of the country. There's no electricity. There's no power. There's tariffs, increment in tariffs, both electricity, telephone as well. So which one is it that you want to say that your policy has actually helped to improve in Nigeria? So I leave that to you in the comment section. Listen, on this channel, we talk about policies. We make conversation intelligently. And you are the one that makes, all of you in the comment section make this channel what it is today. And so you put your intelligent conversation and your comments in the comment section. Let us pick these things apart. And then when somebody sees the one that you say and joins into it and then contributes to what you're saying, we can put an argument for a better case that moves our country forward. All I'm trying to say basically is this. Do you agree with what Eedris has said? Tinubu's policies are not working. Tinubu's policies are bad. And you can see businesses crumbling all over the country. They're borrowing money they cannot give account for. They're doing projects we cannot see how they started the project, where it's ending. Look at the Lagos-Calabar coastal road. Look at how much they say they're using to do it. Do you even agree with that? Put that in the comment section. Let's have a debate about it. Let's have a nice conversation, intelligent conversation about it. But yeah, that's Eedris responding to the ban on his song. And imagine they're banning the song. Something that encapsulates the problem of Nigeria in 3 minutes. So put your comments in the comment section. Let's have a conversation about it. Again, if you're meeting this content for the first time, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you've been following these and you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe, like, and share, and not obviously contribute as well in the comment section. But remember to recommend this channel to others. Also, click on the notification icon as well so that you can get notified when new content are released like this. Until the next video, God bless you. Bye-bye for now.